Aya, a young, handsome, and elegant CEO named Aya Babs. He was admired for his charm and leadership skills. His company, Babs Industries, was one of the most successful in the region with their exploits in oil and gas and telecommunication. Aya was on top of the world, with dreams of expansion and innovation, and sometimes his success at this young age made him so much full of himself. One fateful night, the story of Aya's life and his life of affluence changed due to his pride and ego. While going home late from office one day, I was driving in a full speed listening to music without bothering to look what's in front of him. Suddenly an old man by the roadside was about crossing the road to the other side. I, being on a full speed, hit but the old man was able to escape the direct impact of the car on him, but part of his leg was wounded. I, due to his ego, refused to stop the car nor apologize to the old man. Instead, he drove off. At the gate of his house, Het met the same old man he hit earlier waiting patiently for him. When the old man saw a lightning from his car, he said, "A young man, why did you behave so rudely, ignoring that you had done wrong to me and even injured me?" Ao yelled at him, "Old man, here is not a graveyard. Your mates are in the grave and stop disturbing my peace." Instantly, a dark, swirling mist enveloped him, and the old man turned an evil spirit. He said to him, "I know why you are so full of yourself. I know why pride has taken away your compassionate heart. You are a young man with a good heart, but your wealth has blinded your good heart. But I will teach you a deep life lesson today." He transformed Aya's handsome face into an ugly man and made him have a hunchback, which made him look monster-like. He also robbed him of his power and prestige that made him to be so rude and unpolite. This curse could only be lifted if a woman could love you genuinely, despite your appearance. His family saw all what happened that night and kept it a secret. They informed the workers that Aya traveled out for an emergency project and would take a long time before he would return. Now stripped of his prestigious position and wealth, Aya, who still wanted to be close to his company, took on a job of a security guard at his own company, watching over the very place that once held his dreams. With his heart heavy and spirit broken, he donned the uniform, a shadow of the man he used to be. Many times he always recalled what happened that night and wished he could turn back the hand of time to right his wrong. As Aya patrolled the halls, he faced the disdain of many employees. The beautiful women who once admired him now turned their backs, whispering cruel remarks how such an ugly man could be employed as their security guard. But one young lady, Emma, stood apart from other employees. She was the company's secretary and she's known for her kindness and gentle spirit. Every day, Emma greeted Aya with a warm smile. She brought him coffee and asked about his day, treating him with respect when others ignored him. Aya felt a flicker of hope each time she spoke to him, yet he feared that he would never be worthy of her kindness. "Why are you so nice to me?" he once asked her, his voice thick with emotion. Emma looked at him with sincerity in her eyes. "Because everyone deserves kindness, Aya. You're a good person, and I see that in you." Her words made Aya's heart ache. He had lost so much but found a sliver of light in Emma's unwavering love and care. As weeks turned into months, Aya and Emma formed an unbreakable bond. They would share lunch in the break room, often laughing and talking about their lives. Emma always asked about Aya's past, but he always refused to share, and he learned about her dreams of becoming a philanthropist and having a wonderful family. She said, "Maybe I can write a story about you," she joked one day, her eyes sparkling. "About a hunchback security guard," he replied, trying to lighten the mood. "Yes. And how he finds his true love despite all odds," she said, playfully nudging him. I couldn't help but smile. He felt a warmth in his chest, a feeling he hadn't experienced since the curse and transformation. Yet, doubts lingered. How could a beautiful woman like Emma ever love someone who looked like him? He said to himself, and his emotion changed. One evening, as they finished their shift, Aya walked Emma to her car. The sky was painted with hues of orange and purple, and the air was crisp. "Emma," he said, hesitating, "I need to tell you something important." She turned to him, concern etched on her face. "What is it, Aya?" "I'm sorry if you find this offensive. I don't expect you to feel anything for me or even keep me so close as a friend, but you have shown me something I never expected from a beautiful lady like. I felt loved and you have made my heart so happy. I wholeheartedly appreciate everything you've done," for Aya concluded. Emma shook her head, her eyes fierce. "You are kind, smart, and have a good heart. That's what matters to me." Her words stirred something deep within him, a yearning for more. They stood there in silence, the weight of unspoken feelings hanging between them. As the seasons changed, so did their friendship went deeper. Aya found himself longing for Emma's presence. He cherished their moments together, feeling a deeper connection with her each day. Emma, too, began to see Aya not for his appearance, but for the man he was inside. She found Aya to be a perfect gentleman and someone who has learnt a lot from his past. Even though he hasn't told her of his past, she felt there is something special about Aya. One rainy afternoon, they took shelter in a cafe after work. The atmosphere was cozy, and they talked for hours, sharing stories, dreams, and fears. Emma spoke about her ambitions and her quest to help a lot of less privileged people in the society. I was lost in thought. I wish I could go back to my old life, he thought deeply. But I know it's impossible. Tears dropped from his eyes. He knew for the curse to be broken, the love must be genuine and Emma mustn't be aware. Days turned into weeks, and Aya began to notice the small changes in Emma's behavior. She looked at him differently, her gaze lingering a bit longer. One evening, as they watched the sunset from a park bench, Emma took his hand in hers. "Ayor, I care about you. More than I've ever did to any man. I know what I'm feeling in my heart for, and it's nothing but you love," she confessed. His heart soared and nearly jumped out from his chest. "You mean it?" Aya said with a beaming smile. "Of course. I see the real you, and I admire you for who you are. I just want you to know that I truly love you." Tears filled Aya's eyes. In that moment, he realized Emma is in love with him genuinely without considering his look or status. The weight of his insecurities and doubts began to lift. As their bond deepened, the evil spirit that cursed Aya grew aware. It watched, waiting for a moment to strike. One evening, as they shared a quiet moment in the office, a chilling wind swept through the room. The lights flickered, and the spirit appeared, taunting Aya. "You think she can love you? You're nothing but a monster," it sneered. Aya stood tall, holding Emma's hand tightly. "I am not a monster. I have learnt my lesson and I'm a changed man. Love, compassion, kindness and humility is in my heart now, and that's what matters. Right now I have true and genuine love." The spirit laughed, but Emma stepped forward, her eyes fierce. "Aya is not defined by his appearance. He is brave, kind, and deserves love. And I love him wholeheartedly." The spirit shrieked, the sound echoing through the hall, but it faltered. Aya could feel the strength of their love pushing against the darkness. As the spirit writhed in fury, Aya and Emma focused on their love, drawing strength from each other. They closed their eyes and concentrated on the warmth between them, the bond that had grown over the years. Suddenly, a blinding light enveloped them. Aya felt a rush of energy, and he opened his eyes to see the spirit fading away. In its place, he felt a warmth wash over him, and he looked down in shock. His hunchbacked form began to straighten. His features softened, and he felt a transformation happen. When the light faded, he stood there, handsome once more. Emma gasped, stepping back in disbelief. "Ayoa, sir," with her voice breaking in panic and excitement, "it was all these years." He reached for her, his heart pounding. "Emma, it worked. You loved me for who I am, and the curse is broken." Tears streamed down her face as she ran into his arms. "I love you for who you are. I didn't know it was you all these years, sir." "Stop calling me sir," said Aya. The next day, Aya returned to work, this time as the CEO once again. He has learnt his lesson in hard way and has learnt a lot about humility from Emma. The employees who had once scorned him now looked at him with respect and awe after he narrated his story. But all he cared about was Emma. He called a meeting to address everyone. "I want to thank you all for your support, but I must especially thank Emma. She showed me that true beauty lies within, and it was her love that freed me from the curse." The room erupted in applause, but Aya's eyes were only for Emma. He approached her, taking her hand. "Emma, will you stand by my side as we lead this company together?" Her eyes sparkled with joy. "Yes, Aya. 1,000 times, yes." As the months passed, Aya and Emma became a powerful partner, respected and loved by their employees. They transformed Babs Industries into a company known not just for its profits but for its philanthropic projects. As their friendship deepened, jealousy began to fester in the office. Lisa, a top female officer who was in charge during Aya's travails, had long harbored feelings for Aya before his transformation. She had always been the center of attention and was used to having the men flocking around her. She has been so harsh and wicked to all employees. But now, with Aya's curse lifted, she knew she would no longer be the face of the company and that all attention and power would be shifted to Emma. This infuriated her. Lisa could not stand to see Aya's bond with Emma growing. Fueled by jealousy and selfish ambition, she began plotting to sabotage their relationship. She believed that if she could tarnish Emma's reputation and painted her black to everyone, Aya would turn his back on her and she would eventually have Aya again. Lisa started her campaign against Emma subtly. She would make passing comments to coworkers, suggesting that Emma was only interested in Aya for his former status and wealth. "It's just a phase," she would say, feigning concern. "Once Aya realizes Emma is not that innocent lady Aya thought she was, he'll drop her like a hot potato." Her whispers began to take root, and some employees started to view Emma with suspicion. They would look at her as if they could see ulterior motives behind her kindness. Determined to escalate her plan, Lisa crafted a false story that Emma was leaking sensitive company information to competitors. She created fake emails that seemed to come from Emma's account, then sent them to rival firms, hoping to create a rift between Emma and Aya. As Lisa plotted against Emma, she also reached out to rival companies. She offered them information on Babs Industries, claiming that Emma was an insider willing to sell secrets. The rivals, eager to undermine Aya's company, began to take her seriously. They expressed interest in working with Emma, believing they could exploit her supposed disloyalty. Lisa's manipulations reached a peak when she arranged a meeting with one of the rival firms and invited Emma, knowing she would walk into a trap. Just a casual coffee, she told Emma with a sweet smile, pretending to extend a friendly gesture. But when Emma arrived, she found herself surrounded by hostile faces, ready to pounce on the opportunity to discredit her. Emma refused all their plans and told them fiercely that Babs' company will never go down no matter who is behind all these plots. She left angrily reeling in deep thought who could be behind all this problem. That same day, Aya noticed Emma's distress when she returned from the meeting. "What happened?" he asked, concern etched on his face. Emma hesitated, feeling the weight of the lies and pressure. I don't want to talk about it," she said softly. But Aya was determined to protect her. He began investigating the rumors and the emails that had circulated. He soon discovered Lisa's deceitful actions and the false stories she had spun about Emma. Furious, Aya confronted Lisa in her office. "You think this is a game? You've gone too far," he shouted, his voice echoing in the quiet hallway. Lisa shrugged, a wicked smile on her lips. "I did what I had to do. You'll thank me when you see the truth about Emma. She's using you, she's not innocent just like everyone else." "I don't believe you," Aya shot back. "I know Emma, and she's been nothing but good to me. She stood by me when no one did. She loved me genuinely and broke my life curse, bringing me back to where I rightfully belong. You're the one who's been malicious and have ulterior motives." Despite Aya's efforts to clear Emma's name, the damage was done. The atmosphere at work became tense, with whispers and sideways glances. Emma felt the pressure mounting. She turned to Aya one evening, her voice trembling. "I can't do this anymore. Maybe it's better if I step back." "No," Aya insisted, grabbing her hands. "You're not going anywhere. This is where you belong, this is our life, and we will fight this together. I know you, I trust you, and most importantly, I love you, Emma." With a renewed sense of purpose, they decided to confront Lisa together. They gathered evidence of her manipulation, the fake emails, the conversations with rival firms, and planned to expose her lies. When they approached the management team, Ayoa presented the evidence. "Lisa has been trying to sabotage our relationship and the company. This ends now," he declared. In front of the management team, the truth came to light. Lisa's face turned pale as the details of her betrayal were laid bare. She tried to defend herself, but the evidence was overwhelming. "Aya, you can't believe this," she shouted, desperation creeping into her voice. "You know I care about you." "No, Lisa. You cared about power and status." "Emma showed me what real love and support look like," Aya replied, standing firm by Emma's side. The management team decided to let Lisa go, unable to overlook her betrayal. As she packed her things, she shot one last glare at Emma, a look filled with venom. "You won't win, Emma. You're just a face. And this is just the beginning." But Emma stood tall, her confidence restored. "I'm not a face, Lisa. I'm here for Aya, and nothing you say will change that." With Lisa out of the picture, Aya and Emma could finally breathe again. The atmosphere at Babs Industries began to shift as employees witnessed the true nature of their relationship. Aya addressed the team, sharing the truth about Emma's unwavering support and how their bond had helped him heal. "I want to thank you all for your understanding," he said, looking directly at Emma, who was standing beside him. "Emma has shown me the power of love and friendship. She deserves all of our respect." As the days passed, the rumors dissipated, replaced by admiration for Emma and respect for Aya's integrity. They became a powerful duo in the company, leading with compassion and vision. One beautiful evening, as they walked hand in hand through the park, Aya turned to Emma, his heart full. "I couldn't have done this without you. You believed in me when I didn't believe in myself." Emma smiled, her eyes sparkling. "And you showed me that love can conquer even the darkest obstacles." In that moment, Aya leaned closer, his heart pounding. "Emma, I love you. I've loved you since the first day we became friends." Tears of joy filled Emma's eyes as she whispered, "I love you too, Aya." As they embraced under the twilight sky, they knew their love was strong enough to overcome anything that had come their way. The past was behind them, and together they would face the future, united as partners in both life and love. And so, Aya and Emma lived happily ever after, proving that genuine love can conquer even the most treacherous challenges, and that true beauty lies within the heart.